I just feel like magic. I feel like the world does not exist other than the moment that I am in with it. I think I'm really skilled in helping bring joy out of people. You might feel silly, but feeling silly is part of it. There's something really cool on that other side that will make you feel more joyful.
Do you feel like when you're with a client that part of your job is to achieve a therapist version of a flow state?
Yeah. I love my speaking voice very much, and so I use that to my advantage with clients, especially if they're angry or dysregulated. I can play with the sound of my voice and kind of help them get back to that emotional regulation without like calling them out on it. Embody things, put on different parts of yourself that you're hiding. So maybe I would make you act out a pilot who's really confident in himself and not play yourself. Play something else, play something that you want to be, and see what that's like and talk about that.
So Olivia, as far as I can gather, you are somewhat of a Renaissance person.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
What are the hats that you are wearing right now? And what are the hats that if you could project yourself out some amount of time, what are your favorite hats at this point?
Yeah. Right now, I have graduated grad school as of this week, and I am a clinical mental health counselor and a drama therapist. Oh my gosh, am I anything else? I'm not a student anymore. I'm just a person.
As the difference between being a student and a person, what does that mean for you in terms of ego? Do you feel like going from the category of student to non-student, do you think that comes with a sense of personal satisfaction or assumed status?
Oh, yeah. I feel like I, in a way, have become a little bit arrogant about it, truthfully. Maybe at the beginning it was arrogant, and now it's more a sense of pride for myself and just excitement for continuing to learn new things, but with these credentials in my hand. But there definitely, when I started, was like, look at me, I'm a student and I'm so smart, I'm doing all this.
So as far as the credentials go, how would you describe technically what the official credentials are and what they mean to you in terms of practically what your skills are?
Yeah, so once it goes through the government, it will be an LPC, licensed professional counselor, and an RDT, registered drama therapist. And what did you say? What does that mean?
Yeah, although I think that's certainly, I can certainly roll from that. So basically a licensed drama therapist and a clinical therapist. What was the other?
Yeah, a licensed professional counselor.
Licensed professional counselor and a licensed drama therapist. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'm curious, what does that mean in terms of, take me through, assume I am seeking your counsel or professional services in either of those capacities. Let's start with a licensed drama therapist.
Yeah.
What does that mean you do?
So that means it's typically best done with groups, but it can be with individuals. That means we can help you explore your identity, your relationships, your anxiety, your depression through things like role play. So we could role play out people in your life and practice situations or conversations that you might want to have with them. You could have conversations with parts of yourself, maybe the angry part of yourself or the roles that you play in your life, and you want to talk to it. And so I might have you embody those in different ways. Let's see. There's so many different ways to look at drama therapy. There's like projective techniques, which are like more distanced things. So that would be like puppets and things. So it's not directly attached to you. You could like create a puppet, especially with children. That's really helpful. Like in hospitals, when they're like really scared to get a shot, you make the puppet really scared to get a shot, and then they get to embody that role of taking care of the puppet, right? And kind of flip the narrative a bit, because they're just so scared.
So how does that what are the fundamentals of that? I like that example.
Yeah.
So there's a child who has to get a shot for something, and they might feel anxiety about it.
Yeah.
And then as a result of you doing some drama therapy with them, that eases their anxiety about the shot, yes?
Yes, and it also flips the role where they're now the caretaker for somebody else, and they're taking care of the puppet who is going to get a shot. And they have this joy and sense of like bonding with the puppet, where they're like, I get you, and like it doesn't have to be scary, and you encourage the child to encourage the puppet, and through that they're learning coping skills and language for themselves for the next time that they get a shot.
So what ages, do you have a specific experience in mind, like a particular child? I mean, obviously you're not going to name names or anything, but have you gone through that in the process of your practicum, getting certified? Is that example that you just gave, is that theoretical, or have you had an experience with that now as a professional or semi-professional?
I could give an example that's very similar to that, where I work at a behavioral hospital, and there is a geriatric unit, and I had the patients make puppets. And one of them, I asked them who the puppet was, and they said it was their mom. And these are very old people. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna tear up thinking about it. And she talked to the puppet as if it was her mom, and just like said, I love you. And it was just very beautiful. And like, I asked her what else she would like to say to her mom. And just, it's things like that where like you get to enact things that might not be anymore, or things that you wish you could have said. And that one like very much sticks out to me.
What was your family life like growing up?
Oh, Dave, it was awesome. I mean, my dad was gone all the time for work, but my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I had 3 siblings, and she was the mom who made life so whimsical and magical. And we were doing like whose line is it anyway kind of things in our living room, where like you took a prop and we had to imagine what else the prop could be, and she let us make messes all the time, and like we were filming weird music videos and stop animations. Just a place that really encouraged creativity and self-expression.
Now, I do wonder, because I did a little research on you.
Yeah.
And I saw in one of your bios that for the first 8 years of your life, you were selective mute.
I was, yeah.
What does that mean, and how does that factor into your childhood experience?
So that means that I didn't talk anywhere except for at home. So school, I was mute. I found ways to get what I needed throughout, but without talking. And then at home, I had that place where I could express myself freely. And I think a lot of that was school had rules, and home didn't. Home was a place I could like really practice and be wild. And home was also a place where we were singing and acting, and that became the tool for me to like learn how to speak and express myself in practice. And then eventually when you're in elementary school, you realize like, oh no, I am gonna have to talk if I need to get the things that I need to grow.
So it sounds to me like ultimately at your core, you're someone who feels like communication is special and it deserves to be packaged in something theatrical. Does that resonate?
Communication is special.
Like what I'm trying to connect here is that you chose not to speak because of the rules, that you were not a rule follower. And so to kind of coax you out of the shell of not wanting to speak, there was theater. Yeah. There was performance. Yeah. There was joy. Yeah. And so I'm thinking that the communication, just run-of-the-mill, someone speaks, I must speak back to them. Someone tells me I must answer their questions in class, I must reply. Yeah. Like, that's different than someone shoots some communication at you and you get to dance in response.
Right. You know what? I'm going to twist this a little bit and say, like, play is so important for me, and I don't feel like enough of us play in life. And it brings us back to that like youthful spirit in us. I work with people suffering from addiction at the hospital, and oftentimes like we will do charades, and it's funny because suddenly that playfulness of playing charades and acting out these really silly, stupid things helps fill the void that they've been filling with substances, I notice. And they get this playful joy without the use. And I don't know, I think if more of us just had more play, we would feel more joyful. And it doesn't have to be through communicating like verbally. I dress in a very playful way. That is one way when I don't want to talk to people. I help them initiate conversation by just looking at the clothes that I'm wearing, and then they can talk to me. I don't know.
Do you yourself have experience in your own life with addiction?
No, I don't, but I do think that my early 20s were so lonely that I tried filling that void of loneliness with like sleeping around with people and just doing a lot of risky behaviors in that way. I remember telling myself, like, I think the part of your brain that like has rational thinking doesn't exist. And then I learned in school, oh, that's my prefrontal cortex. Like, that's an actual thing that happened. No addiction, just a lot of anxiety and identity crisis over and over and over again, which is how I became the Renaissance woman that I am today, is through that identity crisis.
So as a Renaissance woman,
yeah,
do you feel like that is part of your identity, being someone who has all of these hats that you wear and have worn?
I do, and yet I still don't, like, I'm saying I am a Renaissance woman, but I still don't feel like I am. Like, I always want more. But then when I talk with other people, I'm like, oh, fuck, you've done a lot of things. You went to clown school, like, and that's another thing, clown school, nonverbal, but you're still communicating with the body. You went to clown school, you taught preschool, you directed theater kids. Yeah, it does, all of these things that I've done kind of have helped lead me into what I do now, and I would not be as great as a therapist or drama therapist that I am if I didn't have these wackadoo experiences.
So I know you are a performer and you work with your voice. Mm-hmm. And I know you've done some music improv. Mm-hmm. Are you open to being theatrical on this podcast?
I thought you would never ask.
Great. Well, so I want to do an improvised song for you to sing. And I want it to be something along the lines of, and you can direct yourself here too, but something along the lines of the idea of having this skill set, and it's like jam with me or play with me or let's get our freak on, something along those lines, the therapeutic value of play. Mm-hmm. And you can couch it any way you want. Do you want to channel the seductress side of you? Do you want to channel the healer side of you, the Shakespearean side of you?
Oh gosh, it's a great question. If I channel the seductress, I won't get clients from this, Dave, and that might be creepy.
Yes, that's a fair point.
And yeah, that is also a big part of me that I don't want to hide from people too, is like, that charming, we can do a combination.
Okay. Well, how does something like this sound? Maybe like... And just assume that I am someone who... You are you, but you're a version of you who is attempting to help me to let my guard down. And maybe even join them in this dramatic journey of healing.
Okay. Hey, I have no idea what I'm doing, and it seems like you don't either, but that's okay. So let's go play. Now what do you mean, Olivia? What are you talking about? I'm saying open your arms out wide and take a step into the unfamiliar. Pretend you've got confetti in your hands. Pretend you're someone that you're not. Or pretend that you can fly. yourself just soar, when you let yourself just play. So let's play. Let's play.
Very nice.
I don't know.
That was great. If you were to playing that back in your mind, what are your takeaways from what you're offering there?
I think it's an acceptance that it's okay not to know, and that feel the fear and do it anyway. It's that you might feel silly, but feeling silly is part of it, and that there's something really cool on that other side that like will make you feel more joyful. And I think I'm really skilled in helping bring joy out of people, and I do that through modeling that and modeling failure and modeling falling on my face and throwing spaghetti at the wall and trying all these hats even when I have no idea what I'm doing.
Now this is interesting to me because I've been in therapy consistently since 2006. And of course, I'm very familiar with the idea of bringing people into power through play, with improv or music, etc. But for me, it's new to view the idea that a therapist is going to walk into the office, or I'm going to walk into their office, and they're going to say, well, before we get started, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you know what? That is actually a really big sense of relief for people when they come into therapy. It is not a thing that a lot of therapists do, or at least that I'm aware of, but I have learned that so many people, they go in thinking there's an answer, and then when therapists give them an idea that there is, and they try that, and then it doesn't work, they're like, well, fuck, something's wrong with me, because even my therapist, who's really smart, they gave me this thing and I still can't do it. And when I can meet them and be like, yeah, I don't know, that sucks. That really sucks. So let's direct our attention towards something that maybe doesn't suck for a second and have fun. And through that, maybe something magical. We don't have to understand how it works. A lot of the time, I don't know how the therapy is working. It just is, because we look at our progress months later and go, wow, I feel a lot happier than I was 3 months ago. Even though my therapist said she didn't know, even though I said I didn't know, we somehow got to this place together.
For you, is the goal of therapy to be happier?
I think everyone's goals are different. I think being happier, I don't know. My supervisor says happy isn't an emotion. It's just like a state of being. And then other emotions go on top. But I don't really quite understand that, so I'm not going to dig too much into that. I think the goal is whatever the client wants it to be, whether it be to be happy or to feel more confident. But I think feeling just an overall sense of gratitude and happiness is very helpful in accomplishing those goals.
Would you say that you are happy?
I think so. I think I'm a very joyful spirit. There are definitely moments where I feel like I'm falling apart and still having an identity crisis, like graduating school. I feel like I'm back at 22 right now, being like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm starting over. I think that's okay though, because the whole idea is human existence isn't just we have to be happy all the time. We're gonna feel sad. We're gonna be angry. We're gonna get jealous. We're gonna be surprised. And all those are really beautiful. And it's okay to feel all those things. And I think I'm getting better at accepting that.
Is that part of using play and getting people to maybe step into emotions that they don't ordinarily feel comfortable in themselves, but trying that on in a character?
Yeah. And through trying that on in a character, then it starts to live in the body. The more you practice and live things in the body. I mean, you think about acting in a show and how, like, even when you're not on stage, you're starting to, like, move like the character you're playing or say words that character is saying. It's the same thing with drama therapy. If you practice a really scary argument that you're going to have with somebody, I can help you by being like, okay, I'm going to respond like I'm really angry back at you. Okay, let's try it again. I'm going to respond just neutrally see how the client reacts. I'm gonna respond really happy and grateful that you shared this with me. And every time the client is practicing and embodying it, and it's gonna get easier for them when time comes to do the actual conversation.
So, for example, I am. Let's do a little role play.
Yeah.
Which is your line, right? So let's say I am. Let's make it a hard one here. So, maybe this is a real hard one for me. So, let's say I am. Okay, so
what's happening?
Well, what's happening is, so I lost my mom in my life when I was 18. She passed away, and my father is successfully battling a cancer diagnosis, which is challenging, and he's told his friends and colleagues about it, and he's told his children and myself about it. So I'm trying to pick from one of these juicy things here. Let's say that I am. Let's say that I feel like I am. So in my journey, my mother's passing was very big for me, and let's say that I wanted to. Help me out here. So as my therapist here, Olivia,
sure.
I have this sense that there's some part of me that still wants to have a resolution with my mother. That there were things, for example, that I never got to know her as an adult.
Yeah.
You know, when she passed away, I was 18, and so what would you suggest to me if I feel like, well, there's unresolved energy?
Yeah.
You know, I've worked through a lot of it with different therapists, but I'm coming to you because I've done a little theater in my life, and I'm interested in exploring how I could use dramatic therapy to maybe find what might in some ways be a missing closure. If I had missing closure with my mother.
Man, there's so many ways to approach this. I mean, I could, in this moment, act out your mother and you. Or we could do it where you act out your mother and I act out you.
Wow. Well, what do you recommend?
Well, what do you feel comfortable with?
That's fair. I would like to try being my mother, I guess.
Sure. And so, Dave, I guess before I start, you feel like there's something unresolved. Can you name more of me what that unresolvedness is?
Well, one thing that always comes back to me, is that in my life, I am often very on edge, or have been. I have been at times on edge about goodbyes. And I don't mean just goodbyes like, I'm not going to see this person for 5 years. That's a big goodbye. But at times in my life, I've been anxious about even like how a phone call ends with a friend on the phone. You know? And I think I sometimes bring that back to my final goodbye with my mom on the phone was very awkward.
Okay.
And I felt in some ways like I almost like hung up on her while she was still talking, albeit somewhat, not coherently, but nonetheless, I think I hung up while she was still making sound. And that stuck with me on some level, I think, to the point where I would sometimes get anxious about just simply how a phone call would end with anybody.
Yeah. Okay. Give me 3 words to describe your mom.
Loving, accepting, bright.
Mom, I feel like I messed up. I should have kept talking. I feel like I fucked up. Did I fuck up?
No, you didn't fuck up. Of course not, and you know that, don't you?
I don't know. I feel like I'm carrying this around with me, and it's just like, maybe I can redeem myself by being more conscious when I talk to other people, but I just...
Yeah, to me that sounds good, to be more conscious when you talk to other people.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's something you can actually learn from this experience, that is totally fine, and at this point our connection is perfectly strong, and so if you're using this as a way to find more consciousness in life, I'm for that.
So you don't hate me?
No, of course not. You know I don't hate you. That's never happened, and I don't think that could happen.
Yeah. But what if I still feel anxious, even if I feel like I did it perfectly talking to people? What if I'm still anxious?
Well, that's probably something you should work on with your therapist.
Touché. I wish I could have developed a relationship with you as an adult, because this is so fun.
Yeah. For me, it's trippy because I'm in heaven. Yes, it would have been fun for me too, to know you as a grown-up and for you to see me that way. As a side note, Olivia, this is great. Well, how do you think it went, Olivia?
Oh, I'm Olivia now?
Yeah, well now, and I'm just Dave.
Yeah, you're not just Dave, you're Dave.
Yeah.
How do I think it went? Oh, we're only touching the surface, baby.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what I was about to do next was I was about to reverse it.
Okay.
And me be your mom and you talk to her.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I'm down.
Okay.
Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have something you wanted to say?
I'm just really proud of you. I love seeing what you're doing.
Well, you know that means a lot.
So hear it. I'm really proud of you.
How do I know this is really you?
Does it have to be?
Yeah, it does.
It does. Allow it to be. Make space for it. You get to make the meaning from this. How do you feel that went, Dave? This is Olivia speaking.
Olivia? Well, it was good. It was nice. I mean, it was really, I loved when you said, the positive thing you said at the very beginning, that you enjoy watching me or something along those lines. That felt great. Both sides were very powerful. I'm interested to know, like, what is the journey like as let's say we have a listener out there who is interested in following a path towards becoming a therapist or a drama therapist. What is it that they have to do, and what are the literal steps, and let's say, and how do they know if it's the right path for them? Like, let's say I have a friend who's considering becoming a therapist. What do they need to know about what they have to do, what parts of themselves they have to tap into / work on to follow that path?
Well, I quickly discovered when I was in counseling school that I had a lot of the skills already. So having a theater background is very beneficial because we already learn to listen. We already collaborate and ask questions and analyze and all of these things. But let's see. Logistics is to become a therapist, you have to go to school for either counseling or social work. There's not like a therapist degree, which surprised me when I was looking into it. And then as far as expressive therapy, art therapy, drama therapy, that is a master's degree of some sort related to the field. So it could be just a master's in drama therapy, but for me, it is a master's in counseling with additional coursework in specific drama therapy techniques. And I've got one class left and I can't wait to be done with it. But the biggest advice I got when I was wanting to become a drama therapist, exploring it, is to go to school and get a counseling license or a social work license, because it gives you more opportunity for jobs. A lot of places won't just hire you if you don't have like a clinical license. And I'm really glad I took that advice, because now I can work in more hospital settings and jails even if I wanted to. It gives you more of a leg up. But on the other hand, I don't feel like I needed to do all this extra drama therapy studying. I think a lot of these tools I already had in my back pocket. The extra training is great and I have new stuff, but there was almost already something in me of like, yeah, I've been doing this with the students that I've been directing. I've been making like therapeutic activities through theater games and things, and I just have more skills from it.
Do you feel in your journey, was there a time in your life when you went from wanting to pursue, and obviously I don't know this for a fact, but was there a time in your life, first question, was there a time in your life when your dream was to be a professional performer?
You know, I got my undergrad in acting, but I remember in class our teachers said, if you can see yourself doing anything else, go do it. And I was like, yeah, I can see myself doing 1,000 other things, of course I can. And then I did like a Shakespeare internship the year I graduated. And I remember everyone standing on the stage being like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I just thought, I don't know, I want more. And I loved what theater did for the audiences. I loved what it did for me as a performer, but I knew there was something else. Patch Adams, the movie with Robin Williams, is actually one of my big inspirations for wanting to become a drama therapist, because he did that play with the patients and things, and that was something I watched in high school, and I think that little seed was in my head the entire time I was doing acting school. Like, there's another way, Olivia. There's another way to utilize your performance skills, your intuition, and it's not just performing.
So then I'm gonna say there was potentially a moment.
Yeah.
So your teacher made that comment, very familiar. If you can see yourself doing anything else, you should do that. And this association with the power of Patch Adams and putting on a play to heal. Was there a moment in your journey? What was it like when you said, I am going to become a therapist, I'm going to use drama to heal, was there a moment when you made that decision to go into school or to decide that you were going to do something that led you to school? I
wish it was that much of an aha kind of thing, but it was so gradual. It was like all of my 20s were just me trying to fucking figure this out. And so it was like I saw these clowns, the Flying Seagull Project, they do clowning for refugees. And I was like, oh, this could be cool. And so I got a serving job for 3 months, and then I flew myself to Italy and taught myself clowning and commedia for a month, doing this really physical theater intensive. I'm like, that's great. I took some drama therapy classes here and there, toying with it. I directed theater kids, toying with it. And I was like, I feel like I could make this safer with these students. I feel like I could do more with this. And eventually, through taking all these classes, through directing, through teaching preschool even, I was like, I gotta interview a drama therapist and just figure out what the hell this is, because obviously there's a common thread throughout all of this. And then I did, and that was kind of the moment.
how did you decide who to interview as a drama therapist?
I had taken a few classes with her, and there aren't that many around, especially in the Chicago area, and so it's pretty easy actually to find.
Cool. So there's a lot. I'm curious, like how. So there's not. You're saying there's not a lot of drama therapists in Chicago. Did you, in getting your degree then, did you have like an apprenticeship with another drama therapist?
Yeah, you have to have a supervisor that supervises you for, I think it's only 30 hours for drama therapy, which feels very low to me, honestly. But then that's like the mandated stuff. But also I just talk to friends and things, and I work at a hospital with another drama therapist, and so sometimes I'll collab with her on ideas and things and hear her perspective.
Wow. I'm like, gosh, all my questions have been answered.
I'm good at answering questions. I'm just kidding.
So, what is, take me back a little bit to, so you mentioned there that you, in some part of your 20s, and I don't know your age right now.
Yeah, 31.
31. During some parts of your 20s, I think you used the phrase just sort of figuring all this stuff out.
Yeah.
And also you've commented that ultimately part of your power as a therapist is acknowledging in the room, in the space with your client, that we're all just still figuring this stuff out. And that you don't have the answers for them, but you can provide potentially a portal into their own insights and their own self-assessment in a way. I guess I'm interested in learning more about you.
Yeah.
Do you have a time, when I say to you, Olivia, you say, okay, you've had times in your life when you were sort of still figuring things out.
Yeah.
What would be tops on that list if it was
man.
I really had a hard time figuring this out. Maybe I'm still figuring it out.
You know, Dave, I kind of have hidden this. It is a very scary place to revisit because I'm just oh my God, I never want to go back there. And talking about it like this is more emotional for me than when I'm with a client, where I can kind of put on that role of therapist where I've had hard times too and this has happened. But when it's in more of an intimate space like this, I can feel it welling in my eyes. I was living at home. I didn't want to move to Chicago like everybody else because I'm so that person who never wants to do things like everybody else. And so I was living at home after my Shakespeare internship and just very, very depressed. Laying in bed, watching TV for hours, just it was so sad. And I remember writing down all the things about myself. Eventually, once my sister was able to pull me out of bed, but I hated my younger sister seeing me like that. I was able to write down things that inspired me and things that moved me. And it was this human connection piece that we talked about earlier. And so I went on this one-woman trip. I spent all my savings bonds on a camera. And I went around the wilderness states and interviewed strangers about human connection and what that meant to them. But while I was there, I met some really beautiful people. And I met somebody who eventually would be very abusive towards me. And it was a very, very scary time. And I remember hiding from my mom that I was gonna fly out and revisit this person. And how, oh my God, just how much drama there was for me flying out, and details about this person where they actually had been to prison for a few years, and it was actually probably pretty dangerous for me to be with them. But I was just so on this quest for novelty and excitement, and even though I knew this piece about the jail piece, I didn't care. I had already formed a connection with this person, and a fault of mine is that I see beauty and potential in everybody, even with their flaws, a perk and a flaw. But this was really dangerous, and it was a repairing I had to do with my mom and dad lying to them, flying out to see this person who was not a great person. And even after I came back home, they would message me all the time and fight with me and want my attention. And they almost tried to control my career path because they could no longer have a career after being in jail for what they did. And so I was getting manipulated into, you should do this, and you should go do this, and you should go do this. And it was a nightmare. And I don't know how I got rid of the person, but I eventually did. But I just feel so embarrassed looking at that younger version of myself who just was searching for something. Yeah.
What do you think it could be if you were to if you were to consider getting to the bottom of what it was that you were looking for in that relationship with that person?
Yeah.
What might that have been?
I think this person asked me questions, and I was so lonely at that time, and to have someone like seemingly be interested in me, like, felt good. I mean, don't we all want to be heard and listened to and understood? And my whole life I was looking for people who would ask me questions, and so this is very refreshing, Dave, to get asked questions. To be seen and to be loved and to have someone see potential in me of like, oh, you can do things, you could do this and you could do that. I wasn't hearing that narrative anywhere else other than my family, and it's different when it's family.
Do you have friendships at this point in your life? Do you have a lot of friends?
All of grad school was quite lonely, and I remember interviewing internship sites asking, what is the community like here? Because I want a community. And some were like, oh, we're only virtual. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to be there. And then I landed on the place that I'm at now because they said they had a community, and they were right. I have very good friends there now that it's been a real game changer and kind of weird for me to have that core community. I think I do have friends, but they're all individuals from different parts of my life. A teacher that I taught with here and there, a friend that I met in an improv group. And so when I host gatherings, which is very rare, it's all people from different walks of my life. And sometimes I have a hard time navigating who I am because, like, to each person I present a little bit of a different part of myself. Yeah.
You mentioned that you were taken by the fact that this person asked you questions.
Yeah.
And then you commented that it was nice having me ask you questions. Yeah. What do you think is nice about? I mean, you say you got that. Yeah, go ahead.
We are so good at thinking. We spend so much time up here. So to have somebody help me get it out of my head and somewhere else is just so helpful. It's so therapeutic. That's why therapy is nice and effective, because we get to get out of there and put it out into the world. And I, as a kid and as a teenager, I remember just being like so loving and caring towards people and always craving that they would do that back, and it never made sense to me. I'm like, aren't you curious? Don't you want to know more? Like, isn't it fun to be curious and learn things about people? And maybe people didn't know how to. I don't know, but when I find people that do, when I find friendships that do, it's so exciting, because then there's like this fun camaraderie and bonding that happens, this fun give and take versus just give and give and give.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the northern suburbs, Vernon Hills, Illinois. Pretty wealthy area.
Do you feel like in part of your narrative of life, do you have a feeling that people who come from privilege are different in the way they communicate?
Perhaps, yes. I always felt kind of like an outsider, even with the privilege that I had.
I guess I wasn't trying to bust you on your privilege necessarily. It's commenting on your comment about that sounded like it was few and far between to find peers who were into the dynamic of a friendship that probes each other.
I'm thinking a little bit about academia and how that was very like that was the goal for everybody, is to succeed and go to a good school and get a good job. And for me, I was always just curious about people and performing. And I grew up with my mom, who was like, if you get a C gets a degree, like, it's fine. And yeah, she wanted me to succeed in school, and I was pretty good at school, but I don't know, I had different things in mind. I didn't have the parents who were like checking my report card every night and like honing in on, you gotta be a dentist, you gotta be a doctor. Like, my doctor dad allowed me to go to school for acting, you know?
So do you think, and I'm just wondering, if the general culture of the suburb, or the portion of it, was, hey kids, let's get the good grades, let's get a high-paying job, and let's follow in folks' footsteps in terms of success. Let's we don't need to reinvent the wheel in terms of our path here.
I hate it.
Yeah, do you think that affected your connection with these kids? Was forming a friendship with them, was there this wall in there of like, hey, I want to be free, I want to be creative, I want to create, I want to express myself in my own way, and y'all are just kind of like plugged into the machine, as it were? Yeah, definitely so. And I had like my theater group, but they were still like, my best friend Joey, hi Joey, is a dentist now because he knew that he wanted to make money. And like, there was still that like checking his grades all the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, there's so much more value to us than the grades on a sheet of paper. Like, no one is gonna look at my GPA. And I think by senior year of high school, people get senioritis, people start to look at things a little bit differently. A lot of the cool, popular kids really liked me. A lot of them really gravitated towards me, and I guess there was this power in me of being very authentic, that people enjoyed. And something that I model for my clients now is that authenticity and bravery, and in hopes that they will be able to do that too and have more of that in their life. That sounds wonderful. How many clients? What is your process now? So if you're just getting certified, I understand I totally understand the value that you give. I'm wondering, how's it going if you're just getting started in it?
Yeah.
What are the challenges? It's like, it sounds really good on paper. And then it also sounds like one of those things that's probably easier said than done in some ways, right?
It's a nightmare to build a caseload, especially if you're at a private practice, which is where I'm at right now. You build your therapy profiles, you can be on social media, you network, you go on networking pages. I think I'm seeing like 4 or 5 individual clients, and that's just talk therapy, not even drama. But then there are community clinics where like they've got long wait lists where like you're gonna get clients right away. It might not be the perfect fit for you, but you're gonna get them because they need the help and assistance. But where I'm at, it's very much about finding people that fit. And it's frustrating, and it was really hard for me to even get the clinical direct hours that I needed to graduate, because of how hard it is to get people, especially as a pre-licensed clinician and not even fully licensed. Like, people see pre-licensed and they're like, meh, they want the real deal.
How do you feel generally about the state of healthcare with respect to therapy in America, in the area? How is that, the process, if you want to, I think probably there are people who don't even know that's what they want as a therapist.
Yeah.
But they have issues, and they're, how is it going for Illinois or America in terms of people who need therapy, getting therapy and getting placed with a therapist?
We need more therapists. Look at the world we're in right now. I think Illinois is getting some fun laws in the makes, but I'm not quite sure about the specifics, but I'm hearing some good things. But we do need more therapists. And for people where money is a struggle, which is many of us, I would encourage them to look at reduced fee services, pre-licensed professionals like myself, intern therapists, because often they are free or very low priced, and still give pretty quality service to them, because they've got not just their site supervisor, but their teacher supervisor who is giving them feedback and watching clips back of them doing therapy. So they're getting that direct, maybe even extra care than long-term therapists are. So we're out there.
I saw this phrase, executive functioning.
Yes.
And that there's such thing as an executive functioning coach.
Yeah.
Is that different from a therapist, and does it require a different licensing process?
I don't think you need a license per se. I do some executive functioning coaching. I have one client who I do this coaching with.
What is it? What does that mean, executive function
so
coaching?
Often people with ADHD are it's mostly people with ADHD come in and they're like, oh my God, I am having a hard time doing my dishes or doing this thing, and I need more help organizing my life. And so a coach comes in and kind of helps them identify the problem more, or like, okay, but is that actually a problem? Okay, what is wrong with this? Maybe we'll give them homework of like, try this thing, and then if that thing doesn't work, we're never going to try that thing again because it didn't work. A coach can do less than a therapist can. Since I have the therapist training, I can dig more into like the emotional stuff that's going on with maybe the procrastination or the attention going elsewhere compared to where the client would like it to be, where the EF coach really has to be less emotional and trauma-based and more about the presenting issue.
And what about, do you have thoughts on the field, if that's the right word, of life coaching?
You know, I wanted to be a life coach before a therapist, because I was like, oh, they get to be a little bit more blunt, they get to be whatever. And then I was like, oh no, I can do that as a therapist too. Do I have thoughts about life coaching? I think sometimes I roll my eyes at it. But that might be the arrogance I have of just like, I went to school, I learned all these skills, I took this extra time, but I also think there is value to what these people are doing. I don't want to knock on them, because if it's working, it's working. Perhaps there are some things where they might be re-traumatizing people, and could use more training in that. I think anybody and everybody is trying to be a mental health expert online and on TikTok and things. And on the one hand, that can be really frustrating. But on the other, I'm so grateful that we are at least talking about it and putting social emotional intelligence into the world and asking questions about it. So if we have faux therapists out there, yes, it's annoying, but also that might be all that people have right now. And that's a good start.
And how do you feel about spiritualists or spirituality people who are in the space of life coaching or therapy, and their approach is from a spiritual perspective?
How do I feel about that? Great. I mean, I feel like I'm a very existential focused therapist. Like if I had to choose a theory in mind, that's one that I very much use. And with those who are spiritual, be it with tarot or nature or God, whatever it is, it's exciting for me to see that they use that. Yeah. I'm not religious myself, but I have found a spirituality in performing, that flow state.
That's great. How would you, I want to hear more of that Olivia voice. I want to hear a song about the flow state of performing.
Just floating. I don't even know I'm here. I'm floating. I'm floating. And what a good to be. Nothing distracting me, nothing hurting me, just this moment and me. I'm just floating, and I'm so happy right now.
Nice. How did that feel for you?
It was nice. I was so self-conscious about singing for so long because I wasn't like the perfect singer. I was more of the emoter who could sing really well. But singing brought me this flow state where it's like I can just, who fucking cares what people think, and I can just exist. And that song's not going to be a platinum record by any means, but it was special in the moment, and that's why I like doing karaoke now. That's why I'm trying to get more into D&D. I discovered D&D about a year ago, and I was just watching it, it felt spiritual to me. I felt like all of my past self and present self and future selves were in the game. And for the very, very few times I've played the game, I just feel like magic. I feel like the world does not exist other than the moment that I am in with it. And that's the same thing with singing a song like that or karaoke. It's just really special.
Do you feel like when you're with a client that part of your job is to achieve a therapist version of a flow state?
Yeah, I think so. And I love my speaking voice very much, and so I use that to my advantage with clients, especially if they're angry or dysregulated. I can play with the sound of my voice and kind of help them get back to that emotional regulation without calling them out on it. They kind of just start to mirror the way I speak. And my job as a therapist, I've said this phrase many times in this recording, is direct their attention towards something else. And that could be manipulative, sure, distracting, but that's not a bad thing. It's just a thing that we do. That's our job, is to help people look at something different, because what they're looking at right now isn't of use to them anymore.
I have had two main therapists in the last 20 years. How do you know, and from what perspective, from what well, I mean, you know what I mean? Where are you drawing that sense? Does the sense of, this person needs to go this way, this person needs to go that way, does that come from your reflection on your own experience, or does it come from some other place?
Here's the thing, Dave, I mess that up all the time. I can make a theory of where I think we could go, and it ends up not where we need to go, but through that we find another direction and another direction. But it's just curiosity and asking questions. And when you first start off as a therapist, you really want to fix right away. You really want to fix the problem. But as you gain more experience, I'm talking like I have 20 years of experience, but as you gain more experience, you realize no, it's just being curious and sitting with the person and understanding where they're coming from. And through that curiosity, you get to, and through that therapeutic relationship and bond, you get to play more with where you go. There are clients now that months ago I would not be able to cuss at them and call them out on stuff, but now because we've built a bond, I can kind of do that more and be a little bit more playful.
If I were to ask you now, in this moment, what has been your biggest achievement with a client? Obviously, no information, whatever, but HIPAA and et cetera. But what has been your biggest achievement with a client?
Yeah, I intern at a place that specializes in neurodiversity. And so that means autism, ADHD, everything in between. And I had a client who discussed with me about their masking. And I had kind of presented, well, like, I believe everybody masks. And that really upset them.
Can you define that, please?
Yeah, masking would be like, in the autistic community, masking is you are trying really hard to not show your autism, is sometimes what people say. It's trying to look neurotypical and say the right things and act the right way, almost like your customer service voice, right? Versus like letting your guard down and just being authentic. And I was kind of arguing about how even masking is authentic and how we all play different roles. The drama therapist in me came out, and they were kind of butting heads with me about it and feeling like I wasn't hearing their perspective. And I remember just like feeling really stressed out. And then they sent me articles upon articles about masking. And I was like, oh man, you messed up, Olivia. They're still sending you stuff. And my supervisor was like, no, that's what you wanted. You wanted them to think more about this thing. And they're sending you this and they trust you with this. And so then I read those things and I was able to come back and talk to them about, oh, I'm defining this as something different than you are. Neither one of us are wrong, but let me use your definition. And that's a lot of therapy, is like understanding what a person's definition of something is. Because when I say scared, I might mean one thing, and when you say scared, it might mean something else. And so when I was able to learn what was actually happening here, it like really brought this great therapeutic bond between us. And that's such an important part of therapy work. What makes therapy so special is that rupture and repair process, that you are able to have this rupture, but your therapist is going to be there with you and you're going to repair it. And that is modeling healthy communication. That is modeling what a healthy relationship can look like. That just because we have this disagreement or confusion does not mean we are flawed. It just means we're human. And what a great place to practice that.
I'm going to pitch another song for you here, Olivia.
Oh, you got another one.
And you can obviously opt out of anything. What I wanted to explore here, in some fashion, and maybe you can decide what fashion it is, as drama therapist. I want to bring to life the idea that, and correct me if I'm missing the mark here, but it sounds like, here's my take for a second, it sounds like part of the experience of being a therapist and being also, so on both sides of it, is that it's sort of like a game of let's kind of trigger each other and and not necessarily I don't know what the laugh was for. I mean, but it's like,
it's the word trigger because
right. It's a loaded word, right? But it's like it's what I was thinking we were talking about it.
Okay.
It was about how when you go to the gym, and I'm not like I'm a gym person, but like you kind of, when you're building muscle,
yes,
you tear the muscle a little bit, and then in the healing it becomes stronger.
Yes, therapy is work.
So that's what I'm thinking in terms of like that you're getting a reaction out of the other person.
Yes.
And maybe they're getting a reaction out of you as well.
Yeah.
And then that builds this trust of like, hey, we're going to push each other past where it's just normal, comfortable conversation. And as a result of that, we're going to what? And
as a result of that, we're going to help you reach whatever it is you want to reach. You address your trauma. I never am about like figuring out where things came from, because I feel like that's an impossible thing. I mean, you can have your theory and that's very healing, but at the end of the day, like there's so many factors as to understanding why things are the way they are. So we are helping each other be uncomfortable, whatever, pushing each other a bit so we can grow those muscles. And man, I have had therapy. I've had couples counseling where I'm like, as the client, I go home and I'm like, oh my God, I want to die. Like, this is awful. This is a nightmare. And then thank God, because of my therapy training, I can go, your thoughts aren't real. And therapy is work. Sometimes it's going to suck and your muscles are growing and you're going to be okay. Do you, when you're therapizing somebody,
you brought up couples therapy, and that makes me think of the relationship that you had with that person when you were on the road.
Sure.
Are you, when you're with somebody, are you thinking about your life?
When I'm with someone?
I mean, when you're with someone in a therapy, when you're on the clock with a client, are you reflecting on your own experiences?
Occasionally. I mean, in school we do a lot of work to address our life and our past and who we are. And if we notice countertransference happening or us ourselves getting triggered, like if my client reminds me of an ex-boyfriend, like that is sometimes things I have to address with a supervisor. But I think the goal for therapy now for me is to get into that flow state where I'm not even realizing what I'm saying, it just comes out of me. And if it is me sharing a piece of myself that relates to the client's experience, that could happen. But it's not, I don't really think about myself as much as you would expect. Usually I'm really honed in on what the client is saying and what's going on with them.
Would that be crossing a line? Would you ever have a relationship with a client that is so comfortable that if you do have that cross-transference experience, that part of the, hey, we're just figuring this out. And I got to be honest with you right now, when you said that, you were talking about that partner that you have who's a little bit abusive, that actually, for a second there, I started wondering and thinking about a relationship that I had. Can you share that with a client?
A lot of therapists would not. I myself I might put it a different way and say, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting like really emotional right now, or like that's reminding me of a relationship I used to have. But I don't go too much further into that. It can be unethical if it's just you talking all about yourself as a therapist, but sometimes I share that just to show to the client that like what they're saying is impacting a person, that I am not just a robot, I am a human with them, and if it's happening in the space with me, it's probably happening outside in their life with somebody else.
That's very interesting. So I want to do a scene with you.
Okay.
And I want help devising it.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to create is a situation where maybe I'm playing you or something. I'm trying to what was sticking out to me in a good way, I think, was the thing when you said that if it's in the room for one of us, even if it's for you, that it is probably relevant to them.
Yeah.
Would you? I'm wondering if you would be open to doing sort of a monologue or even a comedic monologue.
Okay.
Or to set up a situation where I want to play someone just to explore. I want to play someone, and you've kind of something has come into your mindset of what I was saying as the client.
Okay.
And it made you think that maybe this was about like what would it be, Olivia, if it was something that I was sharing and you were thinking about something in your life, and you felt like, well, you're thinking about that, so it probably makes sense that they are thinking about that. What might an example of that be that we could explore?
So something they're thinking about
that kind of triggered you a little bit, and you were like, oh, okay, so this is a thing for me and I'm aware of it.
Sure.
But as they're talking about it, you're like, well, it really does apply to them too, I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, right away I think of like a relationship, or like wanting more in a relationship, or feeling unsatisfied. And
this is a romantic relationship?
It could be. Hang on. Let me water this up.
I'll do that too.
Yeah, let's make it romantic. Especially because I myself am in couples counseling right now. And so, luckily, my clients aren't talking a lot about relationships right now, but I'm sure this monologue that you are seeing into the future that might happen right now could happen. So maybe I'll try that.
You're saying you're in couples therapy with your current partner?
I am, yes.
Okay, so I will be. And what is one hot button issue in that therapy?
It's navigating next steps. It's making time for each other. It's navigating polyamory. Do I want that anymore? Kids, family, what is my future? That kind of stuff.
So let's say I'm someone and I'm talking about with my partner, we're at a crossroads and we're like, okay, I'm thinking, is it time for us to have kids? So what does it look like? What's your inner monologue gonna be?
Yeah.
If someone is talking about one of these things, about they're trying to close their relationship off or open it up, right?
You're speaking, and I just am hearing this yodel, like there's a almost like really high speed kind of thing of just like, do you want kids? What do you mean you want kids? Do I want kids? Like, well, honey, let me tell you something. That's kind of, let's see.
I like I know you do voice acting, so I definitely I'm really excited to hear a monologue with a character voice.
Sure.
Of somebody who is on that decision point of what could be someone's monologue with a fun voice as you've provided, or anyone you want to choose, and their riff about their partner, and one that you think. It kind of works already, but like if you want to add in something about something that might be along the lines of something that might enter personal territory for you if you were listening to it.
It's funny, I'm wanting to lean towards the opposite of what I think and do the other person's perspective in this. So I'll try it. Okay. Oh, I forgot it's a monologue. Do I want kids? In this world, do I want kids? The world is falling apart. People are dying. Do I want fucking kids? Do I even want to be with myself right now? Am I going to be alive in 10 years? Am I going to be alive tomorrow? I don't fucking know. Do I want to get married? Do I want to get married? Oh my God. Maybe I want to get married. But if I have a kid, that means I gotta bring him into this. But I want to get married. I wanna, because that's what you do. Even though things suck, kids give you hope, right? Kids give you hope for the future. And even though we don't have a future, having a kid shows that there is a future. I don't fucking know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. I just love you. And I wish that you wanted what I want. Even though I don't know what I want. But I wish you could tell me what I want. Wouldn't that be nice if you could just tell me what I want? What do you want?
I want pizza.
You want pizza? You want pizza?
Yeah, well, I don't know about the kid stuff. I mean, right now I'm just thinking about that I want pizza, babe.
Okay, I want pizza too, babe.
Okay, so we want the same thing. So what's all this other BS about?
But honey, I am 31 and this biological clock ain't gonna have healthy eggs forever.
Like you said, the world though, it's just not the time. The world is not right for kids, you know?
But what if we could make it right?
Oh yeah, the two of us are gonna make the world right. Yeah, okay.
Okay, well fine. Maybe that just means that I step away from you and find somebody else.
So you're not satisfied with a relationship unless you think you and that person can solve the world's problems?
I don't think we can solve the world's problems, but I think I could make a pretty fucking magical baby. And I think I could teach the kids some kindness and love, which is what the world needs more of. Could you do that?
I mean, That's what you're asking. You're asking if I can make a good baby? Like you're challenging my ability to make a good baby?
I'm just wondering, do you feel like you could instill some hope? Obviously not. It doesn't sound like it. Sounds like you're just a guy who wants to fucking eat pizza and not think about how they could help the world.
It's funny, you said fucking eat pizza. I heard fuck and eat pizza.
Okay, yeah, you wish. Unless we're making a kid.
Do you think about having kids?
I do. It's really hard to shake off how much I want them. It's so hard because I do look at what we're in and I think about the ephemeral nature of everything.
And so it's that debate, you feel the clock, as it were?
Yeah, and it's also this, do I gotta freeze my eggs? That's expensive to freeze eggs. Oh my gosh, this economy and nothing is easy. Yeah. I'm also just in my head about that monologue and character of oh man, I wish I could have done more. And I think when I volunteered, hey, I could be on this podcast, I was thinking, do I have enough, mental health issues, or, do I have enough to talk about in that realm to make this podcast worth listening to with me as a guest? And it's a big narrative I fight with of, am I interesting enough? Is it enough? Is it funny? And maybe that's another reason that I stopped doing performance, is because I didn't like that judgment that came with it.
So I'm hearing you say that you feel like there's some part of you, I'm just going to cut down to the core of it.
Yeah.
There's some part of you that is not enough. At the core of it, that's what you said. You said you feel like you don't have enough maybe personal trauma to be on a mental health podcast. You felt like maybe as an actor you didn't have enough chops to be an actor. Isn't at the core of this something about just some part of you thinking, well, I'm just not enough?
Yes, and simultaneously being oh my God, I'm so much.
Meaning so much to handle?
No,
or
that
so
I have
awesome?
I have so much to offer, and I am so awesome. I just have this I don't know, it's a really hard reality to grasp that just some people just aren't gonna like you. And it's something I talk to my clients about, and yeah, it's a hard reality, but addressing it on my own is really tricky for me.
Do you see other than the couples counseling, do you see a therapist?
Not at the moment. My supervisor sometimes acts as that role for me, though I am trying to seek elsewhere because that's not the healthiest for me. But it's once I get a steady income, that's definitely something I'm going to try and pursue. Oh, I've got my couples counselor. I've got that.
Yes.
Yeah. But not an individual, no.
What would you? Let's do a little role play. Let's say I'll be you, but I won't try and be you because I don't want to get details or information wrong. But I'm someone who is I'm you talking to you, and my concern is that I'm just something about me is not enough. Maybe I'm an author or something, or maybe I'm in a relationship and I feel like I'm not giving enough to my partner. Or maybe I am neuroatypical, neurodivergent, and I'm afraid that because of that, I'm not enough for a relationship with someone who's not neurodivergent. Or I have depression, and so I think I'm not enough for getting a job or something like that.
I would ask you,
let's play it out. Let's play it out.
When in your life have you felt like enough?
Never.
What would you want that to look like for you? What would that look like?
I would want to stop second guessing myself. I would want to stop judging myself. I'd want to stop seeing myself through other people's eyes.
So I'm hearing you say I would want to stop doing this. So what is what you're saying? Stop. I don't want this. What do you want?
I want people to understand me and not judge me.
And what if they don't? What happens if they don't?
that's basically what happens all the time. People judge me and don't understand me. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's just what happens.
And so what meaning do you make of that? What is it telling you when people don't understand you?
I mean, in this moment, I feel like you're pushing me to a greater realization, but in reality, I feel like what it tells me is that I'm not enough. Like, people are judging me, and they seem to have their shit together, and I don't have my shit together, and so I'm like, they're right. I'm bullshit. I'm like, faking it, and they're right to think I'm, less than or something.
How are they sending these messages to you?
I mean, I'll see it in their body language. I'll see it when I enter a conversation. They stop what they're talking about and feel like they're like, oh, who spoiled this just by showing up?
And then what do you do?
I go into my head and I'm like, okay, these people don't like me. They're not going to like what I have to say.
What would happen if you said out loud what you were thinking in your head to them?
Are you kidding me?
What would happen?
I mean, it would be awful. Like, everyone would think I was an idiot or a loser.
It's funny you say that because I was so anxious the other day to go to an event. And the first thing I said to everybody there at the event was, oh my God, I'm so anxious. And do you know what they said to me? I am too.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm as strong as you to be able to do that. And I guess I would still be too scared. I mean, that's part of your thing, is that you're this vulnerable therapist and you're doing a great job with me, but I'm not a vulnerable therapist. I'm just a vulnerable pilot, and I
Totally.
can't get on the the announcement system and say our flight time is 2 hours and 30 minutes, but honestly, I feel like a fraud. Like, I can't say that.
No, but you could say it to your co-pilot, couldn't you?
I mean, I don't know what the answer to that question is, but probably I don't think, depending on how well I knew them, I don't think I could say that to my co-pilot.
No. So what we can do together is practice that.
Okay. You want me to practice telling my co-pilot that I'm insecure?
We could do that, or we could also practice you talking about going to a group of people and you noticing them having their eyes shift, their body shift, and what you're thinking.
Okay. I'm open to it.
Which one?
Well, let's try the one where we're at a party, and I just, especially if it's like one of these pilot conventions, like everyone's there and everyone's trying to be the big swinging dick or whatever. And I'm just sort of like, well, I've got to project that image, but then when I show up to be like one of the guys in the group, I can just tell they're like, oh, here comes Captain Dickhead, and it's like they can just tell. So
they can tell that you're pretending to be something you're not?
Basically, yeah, they fly with a better airline, they have more flight hours to begin with, they make more money than I do.
How do you know that they have all these things that you don't?
Well, they literally work for a better airline. Like, I work for Spirit, they work for United. Like, I mean, that's just like basically the facts. Like,
do you want to learn from them?
Do I want to learn from them, like, so how I can fly for United?
If that's something you're wanting to pursue.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to feel like someone that when I show up, I can't think about anything except that I work for Spirit and they work for United and they make more money than me and they probably have a better... Like, I haven't been in a relationship since my wife and I divorced 7 years ago. And these guys, like, even if they're not happily married, then they're probably, like, with 3 or 4 stewardesses, and it's like, I just feel like there's no point in me even starting a conversation with any of these United people or American Airlines people, because it's like, it's basically like a first class and coach experience. And it's like, I can't even begin, and like I can't imagine going up to them and saying, "Hey, is everyone else feeling as nervous as I am?" I just can't imagine doing that.
No. Well, could you imagine doing it right now with me?
Yeah, we can try it.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Okay.
Now you're really giving these people a look of really like arrogant, big, like thick dickhead guys, and I imagine it's less intense than you're describing, but I understand, and I'm not trying to invalidate, that that's what you feel when you see them, is this big presence, and you feel small. Is that correct?
I'm calling it like I see it, doctor. I mean, this is my reality. I don't know if it's accurate for what their inner monologue is, but that's what I experience when I try and talk to them. I mean, you can play them any way you want in the scene, but if it's someone who's empathetic and receptive, I might have to call BS, at least from my understanding of what I imagine would happen.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Hey, guys.
Whoa, hey, what's up?
Oh, the way you said "what's up" was kind of like you didn't really want to talk to me.
Oh, no, man. It's just like, it's so loud in here. And I had a long flight, and, United.
Yeah, I mean, my flights were just as long, and in fact longer, because we have a longer delay because we're not United.
Oh, dude, you're irritated. What's going on?
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be irritated.
Have a drink, dude. What's going on? We're just hanging out.
All right. I guess I'll join the drinking party, I guess.
I mean, only if you wanna.
So I don't. Okay. I'm just gonna head over there. Hey, thanks for. I'm gonna have a drink over there.
Oh. Okay. All right. And so, this is Olivia speaking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think a lot more would have to happen before. I mean, maybe we engage in that role play, and then we do some more talk, processing things. Maybe we do some like creative storytelling kind of activities together. I can get into interventions in a little bit. But
I feel like there's potentially a self-selecting process for someone who would sign up for a drama therapist.
Oh, for sure. And sometimes I think about myself and I'm like, would I even go to a drama therapist? Like, because I already have this theatrical background and like have found other, I don't know, I do it. I live it and breathe it. Do I want to go see someone to do more of it? I know it's more popular for children because it does help with that communication and play. Emotional regulation, practicing, all of that. But I also think drama therapy can help you embody things, put on different parts of yourself that you're hiding. So maybe I would make you act out a pilot who's really confident in himself and not play yourself. Play something else. Play something that you want to be, and see what that's like and talk about that, where you actually are a United guy and like, what is it like to be a United Airlines dude?
I want to hear. I want to hear that being at Spirit is just as good as United. That's what I want to hear. And that's what I mean. It's like, so the deep down, my guy is just like, he just doesn't. It's not about, for him. Like in my reality as an improv actor, I'm like, well, it's not about that this guy wants to be at United. It's that he doesn't feel valid himself.
Yeah. And I mean, gosh, there's so many directions, and that's like the fun thing about therapy, and also the such annoying thing is like, we can go a million routes with this. Of like, maybe that's finding parts of yourself that you do celebrate or have had, where I can challenge you, where you said, no, I've never felt good enough. And I'll be like, well, try and think of a time that you did.
Yeah, I mean, so sometimes in improv, people just don't play, right? Like, I mean, so have you run up against that with a client where it's like, they're like, oh, I don't think I could play my mom. Like, first off, like, I'm not my mom. So how, to people, how do you adapt to that? And what does it feel like if people shut down your scenario? I
mean, there's a warming in phase that we do in a lot of drama therapy where like, if it's long term, maybe the first few months, we're not getting into that embodying experience. We're just warming up. And that means just playing like theater games and talking and chatting because we're not ready to tap into it. That's fine. When I lead groups at the hospital, Sometimes I'll reroute and be like, okay, I can tell you guys aren't feeling this right now. That's okay. And other times I know certain activities that I do, it takes about 20 minutes for that buy-in. And I trust that process and let them feel that discomfort and doubt. And then suddenly they start getting into it. But it takes them seeing another person being goofy to start doing it. And then that ripple effect kind of happens.
I could totally imagine that this is better with a more than just one-on-one.
Yes, yes. I am having a really hard time as a green drama therapist implementing it into my talk therapy sessions. It scares me, to be honest, because I don't have a lot of one-on-one experience. Everything I've done has been practicing with groups. And so the role play, I mean, like, I can do it and it's fun, but it is so much more impactful when you have this, like, community and you get to hear other perspectives or see somebody else play your mom, and then you can correct them and be like, actually it's more like this, but it's interesting that you saw this. You gain a lot of more insight when you get to cast the people too. Like, that's the thing that you can do, is be like, I want you to play my younger brother. And I remember when I was starting to train in psychodrama kind of stuff, I always got cast as like the baby or the kid, and it drove me crazy. Maybe because I wanted to seem like more mature and adult, but people were seeing something in me. And so there's value of, like, even if it's not my life that's being played out, you're casting me as something, and that's therapeutic enough where I'm reflecting on, like, why do I feel insecure in this child role right now? Why did they choose me as it? And there's conversation to be had there too.
Yeah, well, let's have that conversation. How does that conversation go? You're saying that you feel a certain way when you are, I won't say typecast, but when you are cast as a younger sibling, for example.
Yeah.
Unpack the nuance of that.
Yeah, do you think I'm naive or stupid? I'm trying so hard to show you that I'm smart.
No, you just are younger than us, and you've got a cute face, and I mean, do you feel naive and stupid?
Sometimes, yeah. And so when you cast me as that, I feel embarrassed. But I can hear that there's something else. There's a reason that you're doing it, that you see something.
I mean, we're not giving it nearly as much thought as you are, of course. But, you know, why do you think you feel naive and stupid?
I had an older brother who was so smart. He was so smart with math and science and got bored with homework. And I was the girl crying on the floor because I couldn't do my math problems. I still have trouble with, like, subtraction sometimes. I know how much I don't know. And sometimes that's empowering, but other times it's so embarrassing.
Do you have brothers? I
have an older brother, yeah. Max, Mr. Math and Science.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah,
he's
great.
real. Yeah,
that's great. Is he your only sibling?
No, I've got two other younger siblings, and then my dad got married to my parents divorced when I was in college. And my dad has 4 kids now, all under the age of 7, with his new wife.
How do you feel about that?
At first, horrible, awful. But now I've kind of come to peace with it. It's not my life, kid-wise, but it is bizarre and weird. But I also, like, it was so sad, and my siblings and I didn't find out about the birth dates of these kids until, like, the day of their birth. Didn't know that they existed. And so that kind of brought us together in a way. But I also am like, I've got family drama. I can bond with people. And it brings me to, like, I do have, like, some trauma and, like, I am enough in that way. Maybe I do have something. Like,
I really find it very interesting that your version of not enough is that you don't have enough trauma.
It's funny, and maybe that's that privilege in me of, like, we're taught that feeling bad is good.
Wow. Who's teaching that, and where's that come from?
I mean, if you have privilege, you should feel bad about it. You should be doing something with that. Why aren't you doing enough with it? I just think about all the arguments on Twitter of people of like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do then? I do this and then you hate me. I say this and then you hate me. I don't do anything and then I'm awful. The world, the politics. But really, what would be helpful is if I celebrated my privilege and didn't feel ashamed by it, that this is something I have, and if I use it, great. If I don't have to feel bad about it either, because that's not helpful. It doesn't serve me in any way to feel shitty about not doing something.
How does that feel?
How does it feel to know that it doesn't serve me?
How does it feel to... Well, I'll just reflect back what I heard.
Yeah. Very therapist of you.
Sure. I'm trying to learn. So, it sounds like, Olivia, that the initial statement, I guess I'll say, it feels like you came to me feeling like you are not enough, and I just heard you say that one of the reasons why you feel like you're not enough is because of you're not doing enough with your privilege, or you don't have enough damage to escape your privilege. And when you spoke about that, you said fairly confidently that it doesn't serve you to feel like you have to do something with your privilege, and that having privileges doesn't have to be a negative thing if you don't think of it as being a negative thing.
Yeah. And
then it seemed like you kind of got over it. And
yeah, very much in the moment of like, yeah, guess that's true. And I'm someone who, I mean, you did research on me. Like, I'm such a busy bee and like to be doing things. And so when I'm not, I feel like I am a failure and I've done something wrong. I have a very hard time with days off, even though I need them to have more fuel in me. But like, isn't that funny? I need them so I can have more fuel in me to do more.
You're saying you need days off to have more fuel in you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need rest because I just want to keep doing. I think I know my strengths and how special I am. I know I have gifts. And when I am not at a place that I want to be, at a speed that I want to be, I feel like a failure.
What is that's heavy. When you say feel like a failure, is that I'm hearing that and thinking that is in the box of feeling like a failure professionally.
It's almost like the pilot, where maybe not all like the pilot, but where I see all this potential and greatness that I have, but when it's not happening immediately, when I'm not getting opportunities immediately, I'm like, why am I, does anybody else see this? Like, hello, I am here, I wanna give my gifts, how do I, maybe it's not as special as I thought it is or think it is.
So I guess I do feel a little bit the pilot there. It's like you're to acknowledge your specialness. You're somehow, your own belief in your own specialness seems to be somewhat deflated if other people aren't recognizing it.
Yes, and also like I started making like a therapy-based Instagram. It's got like 63 followers, and I like what I'm putting on there. I know I can do more and make more, but I also am like, I know I could succumb and do what other people are doing, follow the trends, and probably get tons of likes. I know I could do that, but I just cannot do that. I don't want to push away from my authenticity. And it feels weird that I'm like, man, my authentic self isn't getting seen. So I have to be like everybody else to get seen.
That's heavy too. I'm sure there's a lot of people who feel that same way about social media. So tell me more about this account, and how would you describe your authentic content? Let's start with that. How would you describe your authentic content on your therapy channel?
Yeah, right now it's just like some interventions here and there, and then I started a little series called Dress to Express, where I like show an outfit that I'm wearing and talk about either how it makes me feel, and then I like go into like my day-to-day and share either like some coping skills that I'm using or just processing emotions, and then I ask questions of like, what kind of outfits make you feel empowered, or what do you do, and blah blah blah. And it's very fun, like 45 seconds, and I have a lot of people who write to me privately that they like seeing it, but it's like the likes are like 2 likes. I even got one of those messages from somebody that's like, hey, I see your therapy account, and like a reason it might not be getting views is because you're not educating people enough on blah blah blah. And sure, they're probably right, but as someone who really leans into that authentic therapist, that self-disclosure and showing my struggles and celebrations is really important to me. And so I guess the narrative I'm telling myself is like, oh, nobody wants that kind of authentic therapist. You're too weird for them. You're just weird.
Is the account designed to get followers, or is it designed to target that one person who's going to resonate with what you're doing?
You know what? I think followers is what helps the ego for me, but at the end of the day, I'm always about like, if I changed one life, that is enough. Right. But I know that I can help more. And so if I get more follows and like more people can see this, the guy in the basement who's really sad can see this, whatever. Not that my Dress to Express video would change a guy in a basement's life, but you get the idea. I want to be able to make ripples in places that I haven't been yet. I want new people to see me. I want to connect with more people. I crave it, especially as someone who's been so lonely.
Now, I have heard you speak on loneliness, but that hit me a little bit when you said someone who's been so lonely. That felt like a deeper tone.
Yeah. I mean, how I measure friendships is like, would I have these people in a bachelorette party with me? Like, who would be my bridal shower party? And it's always been really embarrassing for me to be like, I don't really have that many people. Now I do, but my 20s? Not really. No, I didn't have a community. I gig hopped a lot. I mean, that's the nature of theater too. It's you get to perform in a production for 3 months and then you're done and you go away. And I think I kind of got used to relationships like that, of just like, they're really beautiful when you have them and then they're gone. And I don't really have that many lifelong friendships. And I've had so many statuses during grad school of like, I'm so lonely, oh my God, feeling really lonely right now. And I felt like I was screaming into a void, asking for people to like reach out to me, and not many people did. I was like, hello, is anybody there? Like,
I'm just imagining that pilot on social media being like, hey, why is no one liking my post about how I'm a lonely pilot?
And it's funny, I'm thinking about when I did that road trip that I mentioned where I like interviewed people, about human connection. I read that like only a small percentage of the population is willing to like come and strike up a conversation, you know, social anxiety. Yeah. And I had set up a table at one point and I'm like, this isn't gonna work because if a small population are the people who like initiate and I'm here and I'm part of that population who's gonna initiate, this isn't like I gotta go up to people. They can't come up to me. How was that relevant? It made sense in my head.
I think it's relevant.
Okay.
I think, what I'm hearing is that basically it's hard, especially in the modern life, but so I'm hearing like a breakdown and maybe there comes with clients too. Mm-hmm. It's like, especially if your clients are, you know, in that quarter century crisis, mm-hmm. quarter life crisis vibe, how much of like, okay, so I'm really struggling in awkward social situations, and when does that turn into I'm really struggling in awkward online situations? You know, maybe that's even like closer to you, like that whole notion of like struggling in an online situation, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. So if you post up a tent and say, hey, come talk with me, like I think that works differently in 2025 than it did somewhere a while ago, where it's like, yeah, sure, I'll talk to this person. I got nothing else to do, right? You know, and now it's like, why would I talk to some random person who's needy, totally, and just standing there asking for attention? I can go online and talk to 30,000 people. Totally.
And I even think about myself when I engage online. It's like, I read comments on YouTube and I'm like, oh my God, people are actually commenting. Like, people do that? That's so weird to me. But I'm like, I guess that's like their source of community and engagement, and it's more than I have, so good for them. But it's even hard for me. I'm asking for a thing that I don't even give to people on social media. I give it in real life, but not... I'm navigating this whole media world, man. Yeah. I don't know. And go ahead. I'm thinking about like being a new therapist and like really craving wanting to build a caseload too. And so there's like this desperation I almost feel of like, mm-hmm. and I don't even think a social media page is where I would get a majority of clients, but in my mind's eye, it's like, that's the thing. Like if you are popular here and liked here, you will get that.
I want to do a scene, a comedic scene potentially, where you're a version. You could be you, or you could. I would love for you to explore another voice acting position of you are live streaming your therapy session with me, and I'm like trying to get your attention, but you're sort of just focused on your people who are on your stream with you.
Oh, okay. So I'm the therapist.
You're the therapist, and you know, give it a character voice, etc. And I'm just like this hapless person who I don't want to be the pilot again, but it could be the pilot. I love this pilot guy. I'm just anybody. I'll play along with you, but you're basically like, well, you're a therapist who's live streaming her therapy session, and I'm trying to basically get your exclusive attention, but you're more concerned with the social media content. Okay. Assuming you could post content from, you know.
Sure. Okay, so I'm streaming about my content.
You're streaming. Yes, you're streaming this session, and I'm trying to get your attention louder than just you engaging with your followers. Like I'm trying to build off this idea of like the idea of having to be. You want to be a good therapist, and you are a good therapist, but you have to somehow sell it on social media to get the cred for people to like do something that is very non-social media. Yeah. You know, being a therapist for somebody, I'm imagining, is totally different than what it's like to, you know, have a great social media account, right? So I just want to see a comedic scene where, right,
okay. We're so excited to be here live with my pilot friend, and by friend I mean my client. HIPAA violations are a thing, sure, but we're not going to say his name. We're just going to hear his voice, and he did sign a permission slip, so we are fine. And by permission slip I mean release form. Okay, hi everybody. So my wonderful pilot friend, what is going on today?
Well, I did this really awkward thing with you.
Oh, he said awkward. Has anybody else felt awkward in their life? Oh my God, because I know I have. You did this awkward thing?
Yeah, with you about 20 minutes ago.
Did you see the comments? There's people saying, oh my God, me too.
I don't want to read the comments. I want you to.
Well, that's part of the business, baby.
Okay, listen. I think I want people. Okay, turn the camera on me. Turn the camera on me.
Okay.
All right, look.
Okay.
I want people to know.
We have to blur it.
I want people to know.
It's okay. We'll do that in post, I guess.
I want people to know. All right, that Spirit Airlines, okay?
Oh my goodness. And anybody else flying on Spirit Airlines, can you please validate him and show him that being on Spirit Airlines is fine? Working for Spirit Airlines is fine.
Yeah, sure. Show me the comments on that.
Well, how do you feel about them saying fuck you?
Oh.
That's therapeutic process right here. Process this with me. Isn't this exciting, everybody? We get to see someone process their trauma live on stream.
Look, there's something else, too, that I didn't mention, which is my wife asked me for a divorce, okay? That was 7 years ago. I don't know if you remember, 7 years ago.
Everyone's putting the gasp emojis because I feel it, too. Oh, my God. She asked you for a divorce?
7 years ago, and I still had a dream about it last night where she was asking me for it, and I fought for the marriage in the dream.
You fought for the marriage. Everyone put up your best poses, emojis of fighting.
But in real life, I just let it go. I just let the marriage go.
So what, everybody? Let's analyze what this dream could be, because we love dream analysis here. Yep. Raise your hand in the chat if you are a dream analysis fanatic, and tell my pilot friend what's going on here.
How many people are watching right now?
How many? 4.
I guess that's not that big a deal.
Okay, but if you were a little more engaging, this might actually work. I put you on this so you could help me.
Let me get this straight. You wanted me to zhuzh up my life, so you're...
Could you do that for me, please?
Okay, I'll try. All right.
Zhuzh it up. Oh, we're at 5.
Okay.
We're at 5.
All right, so basically, there was a massive accident.
Massive accident.
So I was flying for Spirit the other night.
Flying for Spirit.
I was flying for Spirit the other night.
Uh-huh.
And things weren't looking alright.
Oh no.
We started going down.
Going down.
Falling from the sky. We all thought we were gonna die.
We're gonna die now. We're gonna die now. We're gonna die now. Fly. It's freezing. We got 10. Just keep singing. They like the singing. Just be performative. You don't have to actually be your fucking self. We can do real therapy later.
So then there was Santa came down on his sleigh.
Ho.
And Santa started to say,
What do you say? Sorry, I got distracted because I'm seeing the numbers go up and I'm just so excited, and you have to judge it up. You have to do it, not just me. Help me!
I thought it was role play. Aren't you gonna play Santa?
Oh, ho, 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 I'm Santa Claus. I fly in the sky like the planes. Ho, ho! Give me some cookies and give me some milk, and we'll make our way through. See, I'm not as good as you because I don't have, flying experience.
So it's basically like that, right?
Yeah, totally. I should sing is what I'm learning. I should sing in my live streams that I'm not doing, and unethically have my clients do sessions with me.
Have you ever, in your walk with becoming a drama therapist, have you encountered music therapists?
Yes, I have.
What's their vibe?
I love them so much. It was one of the first, when I got my job at the hospital, my friend, who was a music therapist, I shadowed her group to see how it was, what it was like, and she was with the addictions unit, and they sang, some song that really conveyed the journey of addiction, and it was really cool to see them, each one picked up a tambourine or one of those frog things, and they had their song lyric sheets, and they were able to process the lyrics and get in that flow state for a second of playing the instruments and hearing a story that really resonated with their own. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been so nice chatting with you.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking about?
Yeah, would love to know.
Usually, you never have to see an improv scene you did again. And now, this is forever recorded, and I do. It's easy to it's the flow state with a magnifying glass on and on now. It's interesting.
Well, I will definitely be curious what your thoughts are listening back.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It was very fun jamming with you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
This was really fun. I missed this.
Well, come back soon.
Thanks. I'll pretend to be somebody else. You'll never know.
I really appreciate it. And, I guess, there'll probably be a link in the bio, but if you were going to, is there any information you would want people to know about how they could either follow you or share your information?
Yeah, I mean, my first and last name, so that's OliviaCandocia.com. That's my website with all the things that I do. You could also follow my really popular Instagram called Live, L-I-V, Act, Feel.
Live, Act, Feel.
Yeah. Or you could follow my real Instagram, but I'm not going to share that here. You can find it on your own by stalking me and finding me.
Olivia, it's been a real pleasure.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.